They may lead to capitalization increase within a few months, twice or even 3 times. In the long run, with the right mood of the market, I expect this coin to rise to 50 cents or more. I mean, since the beginning of last autumn it surged by 1000%. However, as for 2021, the rise is pretty modest, less than 200%. Welcome to the Coin Post. The previous video on the top 4 altcoins was released a week ago, so let's take a look at how much their price has changed. Binance Coin surged by 41%, from $437 to $637, before going into correction and is now traded at above 500. Ethereum Classic keeps rising to reach its 2017 high, soaring 80% at some point. Maker price also increased by more than 80%, hitting a new high at the average price of 3,962. And the only coin that didn't show any growth was Waves, but during our review it was reaching a new all-time high, and the correction of 20% the following week looks reasonable. After it's finished, we'll see how big it can rise again. It might surprise you that I don't just talk about cryptocurrencies, but I also take stock of how much their price has changed, whether they increase or drop. But I'll tell you what, everyone feels like a crypto guru today in the bull market. They just pick the cheapest token and promise access to everyone. That is why for the Coin Post, I try to select the altcoins which don't grow because of the market, but there is fundamental potential for it. So today, based on your requests in the comments below the last video, we chose to analyze and give the price predictions of Solana, Tezos, Hedera, and Zilliqa. If you support this video with your likes, I'll make another one on the 4 coins in a week. Share in the comments which coins you want me to take, and let's get into it. Number 1 today is a platform for smart contracts, Solana, another Ethereum killer who's been on the market since April 2020, but is already in the top 20 cryptocurrencies. Starting at less than $1 per coin, today it's worth $25, rising to $30 at its peak. This success depends to a large extent on the listing on the leading crypto exchange, Binance. In addition to Binance, Solana cryptocurrency is traded on other well-known exchanges like FTX, Huobi, and others. One unique thing about Solana is that its blockchain claims a capacity of making 50,000 transactions per second. And they don't need layer 2 of blockchain or sharding technology to do that. The developers solved the capacity problem by running smart contracts simultaneously. Stress tests show that the scalability is real. A large number of applications have joined the Solana ecosystem, explaining their choice that, in addition to the high speed, commission fees in the network are tiny, and it's not gonna change if the price of the native token increases or the number of transactions in the network reaches its maximum. The market is also responding well to the news that crypto exchanges and other venture companies that specialize in blockchain projects invest into Solana. At the end of March, a $40 million investment entered into the Solana ecosystem. So does Solana have further growth potential? The first thing I'm gonna look at is Bitcoin, and this applies to all the coins in this video, because it's essential to know that the growth cycle is not over. Secondly, it's worth following the news of the projects, new investments, successful developments, or an important upgrade of the network. They may lead to capitalization increase within a few months, twice or even 3 times, and therefore the price will soar too, even though it was Solana that showed the highest yield among other blockchain platforms. For those of you who want to support our channel, give this video a thumbs up, and we're moving on. Coin number 2 with the price at its highest is Tezos. This cryptocurrency has a fascinating background because it may not have been launched at all because of developers' disagreements, which they were trying to settle in court. But they went through those problems and the network was launched. Today, the blockchain is developing and looking for new partnerships. The most recent one is the launch of a euro-backed stablecoin targeted at the French market. The other one was the fact that the banking mogul Société Générale, also from France by the way, issued tokenized securities minted on the Tezos public blockchain. As they say, if the project is worthy, it will find its audience, as we see in the example of Tezos. Even though it dropped to the top 30 by market cap, it's still developing both in terms of updating the protocol and expanding its client base. It's also worth noting that Tezos was originally created as a secure blockchain solution for business. And one of its supporters and early investors is billionaire Tim Draper, who specializes in venture capital investments in startups, including cryptocurrency. Speaking of the Tezos price, $10 and $15 are quite real, but the question is, when? The current price seems a little too high for me, and while there is an upward trend on the chart, it's largely due to the latest updates of protocol and big partnerships. Now the coin clearly needs to cool down and consolidate a little before it continues to rise. But this is just my opinion, which is not financial advice, by the way. The same goes with the other predictions in this video. Hedera Hashgraph is number 3 today, and its name is too long and too complex to pronounce, so I'll shorten it. The Hedera token is the key to creating its own crypto world in a single global blockchain. This is kind of the slogan of the project. Interestingly, more than 500 teams are already working on the application's development in its ecosystem, and companies like Google, LG, IBM, and Boeing are among the partners. But what I don't like about this project is that they have negative comments about Bitcoin and Ethereum, saying those have slow and expensive transactions and they burn a lot of electricity. This was the beginning of the white books of 90% of the projects that appeared during the ICO boom in 2017-2018 and then quickly disappeared off the radar. For a solid project like Hedera, such PR looks like an inability to tell their own benefits. They'd better focus on user tokens that don't require smart contracts and broad scope of application, such as supply chain tracking, data collection, registration and transfer of digital assets, etc. I'll point out that, in my opinion, Hedera lacks publicity. It's like everybody knows about the project, but it's been second fiddle. However, it didn't stop it from rising from 3 to 34 cents this year. Now on the chart you can see the double bottom and a hint of a downward trend. Assuming that Bitcoin is corrected even more, Hedera should be monitored for a good time to buy. In the long run, with the right mood of the market, I expect this coin to rise to 50 cents or more. While Vitalik Buterin and the company are just telling how cool Ethereum will become after adding the sharding technology, the Zilliqa developers have already implemented it in practice. Why is it only number 58 by market cap? Let's look at its ecosystem and the partnerships. To be honest, it's a good thing that it's there with a lot of fascinating things, but somehow that's not enough, especially considering that the project has been on the market since January 2018, when it hit its all-time high, which it successfully updated a few days ago, by the way. I mean, in fact, they are doing a great job claiming high capacity, low commission fees, and simple application development and launch. Last year they stepped it up and added staking, and they've even got their own network control token. So it looks like we gotta praise the project, but they lack real use. Although on the website they say they have 60 development teams in 20 various countries. Maybe soon they will all release their own products together, and then Zilliqa will moon or at least enter the top 20. They do have potential, but they need a catalyst. It's fair to say that the price is surging and it's very much like going to the moon. I mean, since the beginning of last autumn it surged by 1000%. However, as for 2021, the rise is pretty modest, less than 200%. And I find it very confusing to see such big corrections after reaching each local high, as if one of the major token owners regularly fixed the profits. But if the trend goes on, the next targets are 25 and then 30 cents. In the average time up to 40 or more with a favorable market situation for cryptocurrencies. If you want more videos like this, hit the like button right now and share in the comments the coins that you want me to feature in our next video. Share this video with your friends, and that's all I have. Thanks for watching, it's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.